Yeah. I'm sorry. Technical interruptions between storage, and then I finally had recorded the last video. I had the little mic on for the sound, and I guess the mic went off. And so I have a whole video with no sound with it. Just irritated. And then my phone, the storage, it just kept saying there's no space. So I delete everything, cut all my apps off. Everything is off. And it's like, come on, what is happening? So anyway, to just get back into the story, I was telling you all that my friend had called, asked me to go, did I want to go to the courthouse with her? I told her, yeah, give me 10 minutes. I came outside with all of my documents and my paperwork to get the divorce filed. And in the process of going through that, and what drove me to that was the fact that we had gotten into an argument about money. His mother sent him some money. My friend sent me some money. He didn't want to give me any money for school, so I had to call her and ask her for some money, and I told him I was not giving him none of my money. So a big scene at a gas station happened. Went back home. Somewhere in between there, he was supposed to have went to work, but his car stalled on the side of the road. I didn't know anything about it. I went to school. I came back home. I believe the next day is the day when my friend called and asked me if I wanted to go to the courthouse with her. I did all of those things, and I had hid the divorce papers because I was scared to give them to him because I didn't know how he was going to react. And he had came home from work. Well, I thought he was coming home from work. He was coming home from I don't know where. His car was supposedly been stuck on the side of the road. We get in the room. We arguing. I told him that I think we should get a divorce. That's when he made his threats, like he would kill me, he would kill the kids and himself. His auntie was in the other room, and he did have guns in the house. So it was a really big, scary situation. And I probably should not have gotten in a car with him, but in a sense, I'm glad that I did get in a car with him, because when we got into the car, well, we was in my SUV, which was a Suburban. We got into the Suburban, went to get his car because his car was on the side of the road. He claimed it broke down and he walked to the house. Fine, whatever. Let's go get your car. We went and got his car. We was in the SUV arguing. We took his car back to the house. We went to the grocery store, and that's where things really got crazy. He was going to act like he was going to crash the car. He turned into the grocery store parking lot, and he had headed towards like a parking space. When he got to that parking space, he wasn't quite in the parking space all the way because I jumped out of the car. I ran to the back of the car, and I met him right at the back of the car. I don't even know how he put the car and parked that fast and was back there. He grabbed me. And when he grabbed me, he grabbed my phone with his other hand, and he threw my phone. It was a white guy out there with his family. The guy yelled, "Hey!" So when the white guy yelled, "Hey," I snatched my arm out of his hand and I ran into the grocery store. He jumps back into the Suburban, act like he's going to crash into the grocery store. I run. And I guess that's when he left the parking lot. The lady asked me if I was okay. I told her, no, I need to call the police. Call the police. And when I called the police, the officer that picked me up was the same officer that came to our house the year before, when he blacked my eye. My tears were literally blood. He banged my head into the floor multiple times during that situation. I believe I had lost consciousness, and what brought me back to was my daughter screaming. She was in her playpen, and she reached for the blinds, but she got the string. And when she had that string, and now mind you, she is only like 7, 8 months old, probably younger than that. She grabbed the string, and when she grabbed the string, it pulled the blinds all the way up, and all the light had shined in the room. And that's what caused him to get off of me, because now he's exposed to that window being open. Now it's a low battery. Lord help me. So it was an officer that lived next door to us. And so I think that's what made him get off of me. And I brought that situation up because when you have children involved, you think your kids don't know, you think your kids don't feel what's going on or what's going on with you. You're wrong, because they know. And not only do they know, but it's traumatizing to them. They end up with anxiety. They can end up with learning disabilities. And it become a traumatic experience for them. And in that experience of them going through that, they end up creating patterns that may be similar to yours. So you want to be very careful with arguing in front of your kids, fighting in front of your kids. You have to be very, very, very careful with that, because it causes so many issues with your children. And to get back to the story, the officer that came to get us, to get me, remembered me. And he was so mad. He was so mad. He said, I told you to press charges. You could have got a restraining order. You're getting a restraining order today. That's how he was talking to me. We pulled back up to the house. He was in handcuffs. Our oldest daughter was outraged. The story that I heard was that our second to the oldest ran down the street to her best friend's house, told her that they didn't know where I was. They didn't know what happened to me, because he kept telling them that I left that bitch on the side of the road. And when our oldest daughter, I call them mine because they mine, but our oldest daughter, she went up to him, told, what did you do with my mom? She was yelling in his face. She was ready to fight him. She was upset. And I sat in the back of the police car. They wouldn't let me out until he was in the police car and taken away. Well, I take that back, because I just had a flashback. I just saw his face. They put him in a car. When they put him in a car, they took me out of the other car. When I walked past, they kept telling me, don't look at him, don't look at him. And I looked, and he was yelling, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. He was yelling from the police car. And it was so crazy. I went in the house with the officer. He made me fill out a report. He did a restraining order. He said, you don't have to press charges. We pressing charges. So it was not me versus him. It was the state versus him, because they decided that they were pressing charges. I felt a sigh of relief, and I was free. But the next thing that happened, which is why when you're going through domestic violence or a divorce or a breakup, it is very important to leave before resentment, hate settles in, because the co-parenting becomes non-existent. It don't matter how one person tries to move forward and work with the other parent, it's just non-existent because the hate and the resentment sets in. I tried to co-parent. I helped him sell cars. I tried to talk to him and reason with him. It was never no reasoning. I want to say maybe a little over a year ago, I spoke with him. He called to apologize after going to whatever sources he went to get help. He called to apologize. His apology hurt a little bit, but then it didn't hurt because I had to realize, like, it just is what it is, and I don't have to really deal with him anymore. I never was the type of parent to say you can't have your kids, you can't see your kids, you can't talk to your kids. I feel like I should have, and I'll tell you reasons why in a second. But he called to apologize. As you see, I don't have my notes no more, so I'm freestyling right now. He called to apologize, but the apology was, I'm sorry for everything that I done to you and put you through. But when I really thought about it, I treated you like shit. I treated you bad. I treated you so bad. I treated you bad. And I'm like, is he serious right now? But it was his way of apologizing. I accept your apology. All good. Tried to have conversations with him. I guess he wanted me to re-apologize to him. And I had already said I was sorry. I was not going to keep saying I'm sorry. So that turned into an argument, and now it's been probably a total of, if you put them all together, probably 4 years that I don't talk to him. I don't deal with him because of the emotional abuse. And the emotional abuse trickled down to my kids. And that's why I say that I wish I was that parent that said, no, you can't see your kids. Because that was very traumatizing to them. Emotional abuse, verbal abuse, name calling towards his kids. And my kids should not have had to go through that. No kid should have to go through that with a parent. So it put me in this sense where I felt like I did not protect my kids good enough, because I allowed that emotional abuse to fall on them because he couldn't get to me. And I have seen co-parenting, good co-parenting, and it looked like a toxic thing to me because my co-parenting didn't exist with my kid's father. And so now that I have broken free, I have moved on with my life, I pray that these videos are able to help the next person, whether it's to help the light bulb go off, whether it's just a reflection of knowing who you are inside and knowing your worth and moving forward. There's so much more to this story that I wish I could have shared throughout October and with a new device to record it on. But my prayer is that the persons that needs to connect to this video connect to it and get out right away. It's very, very crucial, if you have kids involved, that you move on again before hate and resentment moves in. No child or person should have to go through any type of physical, emotional abuse or verbal abuse. You should not have to go through that. Whatever you do, and I wish I have done it, get your kids therapy, counseling, whether it's free, discounted, whatever you have to do, get your kids therapy. Put yourself in therapy. Start journaling and make sure that you stay in a grateful, I want to say frequency, vibration, so that the things that need to come to you will come to you. Before I let y'all go, one last thing. A lot of times when we stay in places that we do not belong in, we miss our blessings. And when I tell you, I stayed in the country, no bus transportation. When the head, if you want to go to church, when the head was cut off, the blessings start pouring in. The correct people crossed my path. I had a vehicle every time. I had money, and I was able to do the things that I needed to do for my kids. Their needs were met, their wants was met. Your mental health is very important. You want to make sure that you take a moment for yourself, whether it's when you first wake up and you just staring at the wall, staring at the clock, just laying there with your eyes closed. Take a moment to yourself and take care of yourself. Because the mental is very important. You can easily lose yourself in the midst of going through different things. So please take a moment for yourself. I will see you all next month because we're going into a spiritual cleansing. So you do want to stay tuned for that. I did not want to take up too much of you all's time, but these videos sure took up mine with all this different technical issues that I was just having. So I hope I didn't lose anything, and I hope I said everything that I needed to say for this video to get out in the universe and touch who it's supposed to touch. Again, thanks for the comments and thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. And yes, I am aware. I am very aware. That was one of the comments. Yes, I am very aware of the things that's going on and have gone on. Yes, I am. And I thank God that I am still here and I'm able to share my story on these different platforms, speaking engagements, and domestic violence events. So yes, I am very aware. So again, thank you all, and I will see you all next month for the real intent for this channel. Bye.